Welcome to the Cedar Valley Podcast. Consider this your inside look at what makes our region special. We talk about everyday life here in the Cedar Valley, the voices speaking up for progress, the ideas shaping our future, and the partners investing in our success. We believe community is built one conversation at a time, and we've saved you a seat at the table. Hi, Caleb.
Hey,
Welcome
Katelyn.
to Coffee Talk.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm super excited to be here. I have a couple questions for you, specifically about, your role as the director of investor relations. So my first question is, why are you hosting a new investor briefing? Like, what is that? And can you kind of give some more context to what a new investor briefing is?
Absolutely. I think a new investor orientation is critical for our new investors really to learn from our Grow Cedar Valley team why they want to be part of our organization, but also put faces to the names, who on staff are doing what. We'll do a brief introduction from our CEO. And then I will take an opportunity to go through all of the benefits it is to be an investor. And then I think what I've learned has been the most popular part of the new investor orientation is the micro networking. We
Okay.
just set up 35 to 45 minutes at the end of the event for the new investors just to network and to chat with like-minded individuals in the room.
Awesome. Let's say I'm a new investor.
hmm
Like, when do I get to attend these? Is it like every month? Is it, how
Yeah.
long, like, when is the kind of the time frame that you get to be a part of it? Investor?
Yeah, that's a great question, Caleb. So I decided to host two investor events throughout the year, new investor events.
What do you want the new investors to take away from the orientation?
Well, my biggest thing is I want them to get to know our Grow Cedar Valley staff. Like, I feel like when you can put a face to a name, or if you're looking for certain resources from Grow Cedar Valley, so you're looking for, what we call talent and workforce because you need to hire some folks. I want them to know that part of our team. If they want to, do a sponsorship or add an ad onto our newsletter, I want them know they can reach out to Jamie or Aaron. I
Sure.
will always want to be and will be a liaison with our investors, but I also think there's a lot of value as a team. And Caleb, you're a perfect example
Yes,
of
yes,
that.
yes.
We've had so many ribbon cuttings recently, and
Yeah.
you have been a critical part of that. So thank you, Caleb. I think I'm really enjoying our dynamic out there, getting our ambassadors supported throughout the community with our ribbon cuttings.
When I go in and take the photos and kind of get the handshakes and the candid smiles, and you really just get to see the celebrations and you get to see people super excited to celebrate others and celebrate the businesses here in our area, which I think is really special.
One thing that I really want to share that I've just noticed from all of our ribbon cuttings though is the photos that you're capturing. Our investors are really proud of those and are sharing
Sure. Yeah.
those, resharing those on social media. And I think that's the part that Grow Cedar Valley is really playing as they become investors and we host this ribbon cutting. We're really trying to support and promote their brand. And you are capturing that so well, along with, our ambassador. So a lot of people ask, who are these people in
Yes,
purple
yes,
coats?
yes. I feel like there's always people who will either come off in the street or will just ask questions when they're at them. Gonna be like, oh, they'll either ask like, who are these people, or else they may already know them or they've seen them around and they like,
Yeah.
well, what do they do? And so, yeah, ambassadors are special people and they're a big part of the community for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, we certainly have a fun group of an ambassador. So
Yes.
they represent 50 different businesses and organizations throughout the Cedar Valley. And
Uh,
so I think that's really cool that we have all different leaders to come together to support our businesses and our investors here in the Cedar Valley. And I think one of the things that we are tasking them with, as they represent Grow Cedar Valley is to reshare content at those ribbon cuttings. So that I think is truly why we're getting an uptick in these ribbon cuttings is because it's being seen more on our social platforms as well as businesses using them for their own promotions.
I think, Caitlin, one of the coolest and kind of one of the more special things about the ribbon cuttings is really the fact that we get to go and showcase some smaller businesses. And so I know that when I, have gone to some ribbon cuttings, there's businesses that I've never heard of before or did not know their story. And then I get to hear from the business owners, I get to hear from the employees about what they have done. And these small businesses, they have such an impact on the area and they create so much of a ripple effect, that we don't always see and that we don't always
hmm
hear about. And so I think that is probably one of the best things is really getting to hear those stories, but then also getting to share them. I have gone out and I've said, "Hey, like there's this great spot, Gino's Pizza just opened up downtown in Waterloo," and they get to share their story and where it started and where it's at now. And so that's just one example, but there have been so many businesses that I have been able to not only get to enjoy and get to learn about, but then also get to share with friends and family and colleagues. So
Well, Caleb, I think you do a great job telling those stories. And also, from an ambassador perspective, I really appreciate how we take that dedicated time before we cut the ceremonial ribbon. Two things for the ambassadors and the public just to ask questions to the business owners, because we really want those investors to have the spotlight to tell the story so that we can go back and share it, on our socials as well as ambassadors and all their channels with their network and their family and their friends.
yes.
But I also feel like these ribbon cuttings are really special because we bring the mayors of the
Yes.
city
Yes.
and they make time in their schedule to make them.
Mm.
We can't control their schedule, so it's not
No.
100% attendance, but they do joke with me that every time they come, they get a point just like the ambassadors because our ambassadors are really competitive and want to show up for our community.
Yes.
And mayors
Yes.
are no different. They certainly love to endorse our businesses during their ribbon cutting ceremonies.
So tell me more about the point system.
The point system through the ambassadors is a very competitive game that we play. So, as you know, we have had a large uptick in ribbon cuttings, but all throughout the year, we have several events where they wear their purple coats and receive points. So, they are very competitive. Every month, they get a report of how many points they have. And if you're running short at the end of the year, your friends will let you know. And sometimes you even have to write a letter to stay an
Okay.
ambassador. All jokes aside, the points are a way for us just to kind of manage expectations,
Mhm.
but these ambassadors truly love our community and they are showing up. Our attendance has been up and it's been really humbling and rewarding to see how much they give back. They work full time.
They
So
do.
when they are attending ribbon cuttings to support these businesses, they're taking that time out of their workday. So it really means a lot, not just to us at Grow Cedar Valley, but the small business, the large corporation, the groundbreaking, the expansion project, they're sharing all of those messages. And I'm really grateful for the group that we have.
I have to agree. I remember we've done so many ribbon cuttings since I've started, but there have been a few where it's been super snowy, or it's been pouring rain, or there was hail, or there was like gale force winds. But they just consistently show up and they want to be there. It's not just for a point. It's not just for recognition or any of that. I truly believe that the ambassadors want to be there because they want to support our community and they want to see these businesses thrive. They want to see them grow.
Yeah, we only accept applications for ambassadors 2 times a year, and that's only if we have an open spot. So I always continue to encourage our leaders within our investor businesses to apply.
Hmm.
We hold on to those applications for a year, but like I said, we have to have an open seat, and
Yeah.
it people are feel very grateful to be part of the group. They tend to hold on. We have high tenure in our ambassador group.
So Caitlin, what is next? So, we had this investor orientation and we've talked about ribbon cuttings. What is kind of next for you and for just investors in general?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest value added for being an investor with Grow Cedar Valley is just our ongoing networking events.
Mhm.
Actually, coming up May 7th, we have our business after hours. And Caleb, I have to say, this is one of my favorite quarterly events, truly because it is less formal in the sense of it's a come and go open house style starting at 4:30. So if that works for you to come within the working hours or you need to come after 5, we will be there. And so I think that's where we see a lot of value for our investors is just to have those formal and informal networking opportunities. And I think we have a great platform for that between business after hours and Good Morning Cedar Valley. Well, Caleb, thank you again for your continued support in the ribbon cuttings
Of
because I
course.
think, our investors value all of the content and the stories that you tell. I really enjoy working alongside you in those ribbon cuttings. I'm really enjoying seeing you as a person really take a leadership role in supporting the logistics of those events. So thank you for your support in that. And of course, taking all the photos at our Grow Cedar Valley events as
Of
well.
course. Well, thank you for sitting down with me. Like I said, I feel like a lot of ambassadors have said it, but I have to say kudos to you. Like you've made me feel like we're such a great team. Like we do such awesome things, and just seeing what you do and getting the ambassadors together and just making our investors feel excited and proud to be a part of this is just so awesome. So thank you for sitting down with me, and thank you for sharing so much about what we do and what our investors get to have. So thank you.
Thanks for joining the conversation. More stories, updates, and voices from across the Cedar Valley coming your way. Stay tuned for the next episode.